Everybody ready? Let's talk about it. What's up, you guys? How y'all doing today? So, I want to come on here and talk to you about two things. First is Mystikal. Mystikal, y'all remember shake it fast, but watch yourself. In danger. Well, I used to like Mystikal back in the days growing up. He was pretty cool. He was a shorty and what have you, But it seemed like Mystikal can't stay out of trouble. And it's for the same thing over and over again. So it's leading me to wonder, does this man have a problem? He must have a serious problem. So let's see what Mystikal be getting himself into. So this is what they said happened according to Yahoo News. New Orleans rapper Mystikal has been arrested on taking it charges in jail, according to Louisiana sheriffs. He is accused of first-degree taking it of a woman who was allegedly staying at his home in Louisiana. Mystikal allegedly took the victim's phone and keys to stop her from leaving his home. Now, when I say taking it, it's the R word, but we can't say that on YouTube, so I'm going to just say he's been taking it. The 52-year-old Mystikal, born Michael Lawrence Tyler, had an acquaintance visiting his home in Prairieville, Louisiana on Saturday, according to the arrest warrant. Tyler accused the woman of stealing $100 from him. Mystikal is accused of then punching the woman, pulling the braids out of her hair, and taking her phone and keys to keep her from leaving his home, court documents allege. After that, Mystikal allegedly took it from the lady. The woman then allegedly called a friend who met her at Baton Rouge Hospital following the encounter. According to court documents seen, a test kit was performed and the evidence of injuries matched her description of an assault. Mystikal is now booked on charges of first-degree taking it, simple robbery, domestic abuse battery, false imprisonment, and simple criminal damage to property. He will be held without bond. Mystikal has been accused of taking it twice in the past 2 decades. He previously spent time in prison for assaulting his hairstylist in 2004. When he was released, he registered as an offender. The second accusation of assault came in 2017 when Mystikal turned himself into police because there was a warrant out for his arrest regarding an alleged assault in the casino in Shreveport. Those charges were eventually dropped. So it appears our boy Mystikal has a problem keeping his hands to himself and keeping his eggplant to himself too. It's like that's his weapon of choice. Just throwing the eggplant on women. This is his third time. Something gotta be wrong with him. Like, what the heck? Then, on top of that, what's up with these women? Like, when you hear, when you hear of people with certain accusations and charges against them and what have you, don't you kind of like stay away from them? Like, these women gravitate to him. And granted, you can't hold people. Never mind. Scratch that. He got accused of it. This is going to be his third time being accused of the same thing. You mean to tell me somebody else going to go mess with him? So apparently, the judge decided that he don't need no bond because they sick of him too. I just don't understand how you hear of men or women being accused or convicted of certain things, vicious things, horrific things. He pulled this lady braids out her head for $100. Come on, man. This is crazy. And I guarantee you, if he get back out again, somebody else gonna be messing with him. They don't never learn. Come on, Mystikal, what are you doing? I'm quite sure they'll give it to you. You ain't gotta take it. That's your So now I want to talk about this pastor, Pastor Whitehead. Yes, this is the pastor who he was live streaming at church. Lamar Whitehead. He was live streaming his church service, and four guys came in and robbed him at gunpoint. All right, so let's watch this real quick. So now I want to talk about this pastor, Pastor Whitehead. Yes, this is the pastor who he
was robbed at gunpoint in the middle of his Sunday sermon today, and it was all caught on camera. The service was being live streamed this morning when he says 3 to 4 men walked in with guns. He spoke at length with CBS 2's Lisa Rosner about why he believes he was targeted and his message for the suspects. 5 to 10 minutes into preaching Sunday morning on Remsen Avenue in Canarsie, Bishop Lamar Whitehead saw the door in the back of the room kick open.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die what you about to go through? Yo. All right. I seen 3 to 4 men come in. I said, all right. It's pretty much stating that I'm not going to do anything, right? Because I know y'all coming for me. Y'all coming straight to me. I don't want my parishioners hurt, right? I got women and children there. As I got down, one went to my wife and took all her jewelry and had the gun in front of my 8-month-old baby's face. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain, and then I had chains underneath my robe. He started tapping my neck to see if anything else. So that means they knew. They watched and they knew that I have other jewelry.
The church's live stream shows the gun being held on the pastor.
They had the guns on my deacons that was at the door.
Whitehead says what you don't see on camera are around 100 congregants who were in the room. Men, women, and children dropped to the floor in silence.
My church is traumatized. The women and children are still crying. Still crying. Babies are still crying.
Police say the men took off in a white Mercedes. Whitehead says cops have a license plate and witnesses saw the men change clothes outside.
These men, they need to turn themselves in. I forgive you, and I'm praying for you.
So it says it's not good to judge a book by its cover, but don't he look like he could have been in a Run DMC video back in the day? Sure, he look like a little Run DMC, got the glasses matching, got the little jogging suit and everything. But anyway, so a lot of stuff been coming out about Bishop Lamar Whitehead since this incident happened. So one report says that 56-year-old Pauline Anderson is accusing the gaudy gospeler of convincing her to liquidate her life savings and extending him a $90,000 investment so that the pastor could renovate a home for her. Pauline alleged that she was introduced to the pastor through her son in 2020, and due to her poor credit, was unable to secure a mortgage on the home. That's when Whitehead allegedly stepped in to help and allegedly promised to pay Anderson, who depended on the savings for survival, $100 a month allowance. The sketchy deal turned sinister when Bishop only made one $100 payment to Ms. Anderson in January of 2021. When asked about the money, Whitehead allegedly told her it was tied up in his election campaign for Brooklyn Borough President. So this man done scammed this lady out of $90,000, okay? Instead of helping Anderson find a home as promised, he instead used the funds on a down payment for a $4.4 million home for himself. The contract on that home ultimately fell through. So he done took her money and used it to do God knows what. And that's just one person that came and was talking about how he scammed them. Now, this one thing that she said that ticked me off. Pauline claims that although she was uncomfortable handing over her hard-earned monies to the slippery sermon slinger, she trusted him because he was a man on the cloth. Okay, this lady is 56 years old, right? She already sensed that she shouldn't have gave him the money, but because he was a man of the cloth, she decided to go ahead anyway. Now, when your gut tell you something about somebody, 9 out of 10 times it's right. She ain't never met him before, and she just met him, and he talking money to her. Granted, her son is the one that introduced her to this man. But her gut instinct was, yo, don't give this man no money. But what she did, she went against all of that because he was a man of the cloth. And then look what happened. He done scammed her out of her money. He was supposed to give her $100 a month. And he paid her one time. And that was it. Like, come on now. The ex-con turned preacher doesn't seem to have much of a moral compass, as he was just on Instagram Live arguing, fat shaming, and using a homophobic slur. So he went on there and he was on Larry Reid, and he was cussing and acting a fool on Larry Reid channel.
The way you look, okay? And that's what you're mad at. And that's why you attack people. That's why you attack the church. All right? And that's why you can promote whatever you promote. Let me write this off. And you don't know. If you don't know, I'm sitting here watching you laugh at me, and you don't even know me. You don't even know me. You don't even do. But none of them tell me what I heard and when I sat here and listened to y'all talk about me in my church. All right? Okay? My family could have died. You want to laugh about it? That didn't happen. That didn't happen. I'm going to say this to you. You could kiss my ass. You and Biggie Smalls.
Okay, and that is why.
Right. He's the manifest.
And just going in on him on Instagram. But Larry Reid, he kept his cool though, you know. Some people believe that Whitehead's robbery was an elaborate insurance scam, while others believe that it's God's way of making things right. Hopefully the bishop can resolve things with the church parishioners. If not, he might want to lay low on all the stunts and shows. Y'all notice how all of a sudden now he's out here and he's just going on what do you call that? He's holding press conferences and so forth. He talking to anybody that would sit there and listen. I just think that he did scam that lady, number one. I don't know if the robbery was for real, but did you see his boy when he was getting robbed, when we was watching him, the guy on the left, he just sat there and was just looking. I mean, granted, the guy's got guns and everything, but the way he looked, it just seemed like it didn't seem right. Something seemed off with that. But yeah, maybe it is an insurance scam. You know, he's on every TV show. Anybody that will talk to him, he's going to talk. He's trying to get his name out there. He flashy. You see his Instagram. He just decked out all the time and what have you. And it's sad because, yes, you're a pastor and he got Rolls Royces, Louis suits, all kind of everything name brand. And not saying you can't wear a name brand, you know, that'll be wrong for me to say that. But at the same time, you in Canarsie, Brooklyn, that's not like, you know, a high-end place where everybody in the community look like you. The people in the community are looking for help. And I blame the people too, because you see people like this and you keep saying, you know, don't touch God anointed and what have you. But the dude is not humble. The signs be there in everybody's face and they still don't see it. And they keep going for these scammers and keep following these scammers. And it just seems like scammers stay winning because y'all don't put y'all foot on their neck. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this scamming pastor. And I will talk to you guys on the next one. Peace.